Well, right now there are 38 men on South Carolina's death row. One of them has been there for more than 2 decades. I recently sat down with the daughter of his murder victim who is still seeking justice. It's part 2 of our Delayed Justice special report.
She had been dead for about 48 hours at the time I found her.
Samantha Leitner will never forget the day her mother was taken from her.
It was the day before my 25th birthday.
She stopped by her mom's house to check the mail when she found the unthinkable.
It was a bad scene all around.
On May 29, 1994, 47-year-old Uri Jackson was sexually assaulted and killed in her own Lexington County home. Leitner describes her mother as a very private, unassuming woman, which is why she couldn't understand who would kill her, but she did have an idea.
He was one of the very few people I knew that knew my mother that was, in my mind, kind of quote-unquote crazy enough to do something like that without having a reason.
After months of investigating and questioning, Gary Terry was arrested and charged with Jackson's murder in the spring of 1995.
Back then, DNA was not a common thing. You didn't hear that. Her trial was one of the first trials ever done with DNA evidence.
In 97, he was sentenced to death, but after years of the appeals process, he remains on death row.
He did confess to the crime. We did have DNA, fingerprints, and that type of thing. So it's never been an issue of was he guilty. I guess the issue has always been, you know, does he get death as the jury sentenced him to, or does he get life without parole?
Leitner says although Terry and so many other inmates are still serving out their sentences, she and so many other families are left without real closure.
It's not fair to the victims' families who have to continuously suffer for every hearing. You're going back, you're reliving the crime every single time. Family members and victims shouldn't have to die in the process of waiting for justice.
Now, Leitner tells me the Attorney General's office has filed with a federal judge to move forward and set a new execution date for Gary Terry. She's hopeful that moving this case to the federal level will bring justice soon.